What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video on the channel. If you haven't known by now, I've been renting off for pretty much a month now, and with that I had to basically adapt and change up my routine a lot. I think I've pretty much been able to adapt, and so today I thought, let me show you how I have my desk set up, because that's definitely where I'm at the most. So today I'm gonna be showing you my productivity slash studio desk setup. I do everything here, from studying for school, music production, video production work, entertainment, and even eating. I do that all in this table. So let's just dive right in, shall we? What's great about this space that I have is it's not really too much. It's pretty much just a room. And so my studio desk setup is over there, if I'm pointing at it right. So basically, guys, this is the desk setup right here. We have the table, we have the chair. So let's just talk about the chair first, right? So this chair is just, I guess, pretty standard chair. It doesn't have great back support, but at least the seat is relatively soft, so that's a plus. Not sure what else to say about the chair though, but let's move on. So look, this is the table. This is where all of the magic happens. And this table is pretty nice. It's pretty big, or deep, or whatever. Basically, I just mean that it has a lot of depth to it, so I can put a lot of things behind it as well as in front of it, in the foreground and the background. So that's pretty cool. Where shall we begin? Let's begin here then with the laptop. So this laptop is a Asus VivoBook S200E, and I have been using this laptop since 2013. Yeah, almost 8 years ago. You know, it's not as fast as it once was. I used to use FL Studio on this, but I don't anymore. I mainly just use this for PowerPoints, Word, and watching shows, because that's as much power as it has. And as an 8-year-old computer, you would understand that its battery life is not as good either. I probably get 30 minutes to an hour on a charge, and the charge takes like 2 hours. So I don't really use this laptop outside of this room because of that reason. What I do like about it though is that it has a lot of, as you can see, it has a lot of ports. It's amazing. HDMI, USBs, Ethernet, headphone jack, and another USB on this side. And as you can see over here, the charger, I need to bend it in like so many different ways for it to even pick up a charge. So practically on life support. I need a new laptop. Anyways, moving on, we have this little guy, this beast of a machine, my workhorse powerhouse iPad Pro 11 from 2018, the very first one, where they had the redesign and boxy shape and all of that, and USB-C and everything. This device, I do everything on this device, whether that's studying, creative work, journaling, playing games, watching videos. It's amazing how much you can do on an iPad, and I'm just really grateful for the ability to even have one. Like, this has supercharged my work, and I cannot live without it. Very cool. It has a great display, great cameras, great performance, has nice speakers. If I had to say a gripe about it, it would probably be the fact that it only has one USB-C port, but I also have a next accessory here that remedies that situation. So as you can see, this is the iPad with the one USB port, but it's actually attached to something. It's attached to what they call a USB hub or dongle, because it hangs off the side of the iPad. So this dongle, this adapter, gives me back all my ports that I need. It not only gives me a headphone jack, because Apple cut off the headphone jack in this model here, Yes, I get my headphone jack, I get a USB-C port that's only charged, which is sad. A micro SD card, HDMI, and I also get a USB-A port as well. Now, with this hub, I can basically do everything I need on the iPad without having any limitations. If I need to get footage off of my cameras, I can just put them in these. If I need to display to a projector or another monitor, I can use this headphone jack. If I need to make music, if you're a music producer, you know what I mean. Bluetooth headphones are not the way to go. And this USB-A port gives me back the ability to connect to my, for example, Midi keyboard or microphone, which I will talk about later in this video. This hub is special. I'm using it in a terrible way right now, but you can actually use this flush with the iPad. Like, it's made to be able to slide right into the side of the iPad and basically just pretend and look like it's not even there. So the iPad is sitting on a stand. It's a Zelda-inspired stand, and that's because this stand was actually made for the Nintendo Switch, but it also seems to work very well on tablets and even my iPhone. If I were to place my iPhone on it, let me attempt to do that now. I'm gonna just right there, very nicely. You know, great device. Let's move on now to this tray over here. This tray over here has my keyboard, which is what I use for my iPad to basically type out anything that I need, right? I write my scripts on it, I write journal entries on it. It's a really good keyboard. It's a little bit basic and a little probably overly pricey, and I like it. You know, it's thin, it's light. Battery life is amazing. I don't remember the last time I charged this. It's been a couple of months too, so the only gripe I have about this is it doesn't light up, right? So at night I can't see the keys, and also it uses a lightning port instead of USB-C. Come on, Apple, update it. And then here I have my iPhone 6, which you saw before. Here I have my, what do you call it, true wireless headphones, Xiaomi Mi Dots Basic. Air Dots, sorry. Charge it through micro USB. It's relatively cheap and it has pretty decent sound. So that's my wireless headphones. I have a flash drive. You always need a flash drive. But it's not special because you have your two USB-C end for newer devices, and you have your USB-A end for old devices. Moving on, we have the Midi keyboard of choice. I use it very extensively since 2013 because for some reason I was adding random people on Facebook and I met this person from the States. He basically persuaded me into music production by getting this and also getting FL Studio, and yeah, it's been so long since I had this and it works very well, especially with my iPad, because I can, for example, open up a keyboard app like this and then I can just play. So something like that. So, and it's pretty nice. The keys are kind of not like real piano keys, but they would work. And you have pads, pressure sensitive velocity pads. You have knobs that you can customize to do certain things. Moving on to here, what we have here is a blue Yeti condenser microphone and a Dragonfly pop filter, I believe. This is what I've had since 2016, I think. My friend went to the States and got it for me, and it was bigger than she thought it was, and I thought it was too. But I'm really grateful that she was able to get it for me. I love it. It's been a great addition to the creative kit. What's more to say? It's USB based, which is why, as you'll notice soon enough, I don't have an audio interface because I don't have any mics that have XLR out, so I don't need that. And also I want to talk about this pop filter and how it's attached to the desk. As you can see, the desk is like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's so thin. Don't be fooled by this thing here. There's nothing underneath. So this is so thin that this pop filter clamp is not able to clamp on it because it's too thin. So what I have underneath, if you can see, it's a box of shaving blades to give it enough thickness to clamp onto the thing here. And it's kind of like cable management too, if you think about this. This is a speaker that I've tilted for some reason vertically. It's from Mobo. You'll probably never heard of this brand, neither did I, but they're apparently a tech brand in Mexico. They make very affordable products. This one was like, I think about $50, but it gives you so much. It gives you a micro SD card slot, USB, you know, it has NFC. Yeah, and it sounds pretty decent. It's not gonna be the best sounding thing you ever heard, but it's gonna work. On top of it, sitting on it, this speaker actually doubles as a headphone holder. They're not mine, they're actually borrowed from a friend who doesn't use them anymore. They're the Beats Solo 3s. The ear cups are kind of falling apart, but they still sound great. They actually have the W1 chip, I think, so it pairs to Apple products very, very nicely. So yeah, so that's the headphones. This is what I use mainly for music production, because it also has a 3.5mm headphone out, so I can plug it into the hub, into my iPad, and start making music. And what else? Oh, okay, so I also have here on the right a tripod. Very, very useful for holding the camera when you don't have people to help you hold the camera. Up here would have been the camera, but I'm using it. And you know, it would be able to shoot me when I'm sitting down here for when I want to do a portion of the video, talking head video. And then you have these windows here, which kind of act as lights, because who doesn't like window lighting? So it gives me a great lighting source when I'm sitting down here. I had to put some typing sheet to kind of diffuse the light, because especially when it's heading towards the evening time, this sun is very, very harsh. The cable management and power and everything, because if you see this right now, you'll be like, it seems pretty neat, you know, nothing much going on. But what is really behind this setup? So behind the setup, you have, well, I always like to have a notebook, a pen and a notebook, so I can jot down stuff really quickly, any ideas or whatnot. Behind this is my charging brick for the laptop. As I told you before, the laptop has their charging problems if I move it too much, and so I try not to move it too much. Right, and that is connected to the wall outlet over here, right, which is just so happens to also be where my camera charging dock thingy also resides. Kill two birds with one stone. We have another charging brick, well, two, which is, this is for the iPad and this is for the iPhone, which you can see it connects over here from over here, and then this, you can just connect it. So if it's not in use, I would just plug it out, and have it just dangle on the side over here. If I'm not using this, I can just throw it down there too. So in some way, here is like where all the cables just fall off. Out of sight, out of mind, right? And this extension cord thing is routed underneath the table. All right, can you see it? Underneath the table, and boom, to this outlet right here. You see the keyboard and the mic, they are run so that, let me show you. Both the keyboard is run from here, going behind the system up to here, right? But the mic is run from the bottom of its base, and it comes down here to underneath the table, and it moves to this port. So I kind of use these little things here to signify what is what. So this one is the keyboard, and this one is the mic. Last thing I want to talk about is behind here. What the hell is all of this? What the hell is all this? These are my hard drives. I have two actually, or three. This one, and this one. Right? All of them are routed behind the iPad desk into here. So now, if you take a look, I have access to all three of these ports whenever I want, and I can plug them straight into the laptop. If I want to use this one, I can just plug it in. If I want to use this one, I can just plug it in. And if I want to use this one, I can just plug it in. These two big hard drives are mainly the hard drives that I would leave here, right? And this small one, if you notice, is not routed within this hole, but around it. That's because I use this a lot on the road, so I like to easily be able to take it with me and bring it back and all that. So that's why it's like that. And this paper is usually around here because of how close it is to the windows and the sun. I don't know if it'll affect it, but I like putting this paper around so that it deflects the light rays and I guess keep it safe. So what you guys are seeing now is the studio view when I'm trying to make music or something. But if I do a little tweak like this, let's say I take this away, right? And then I take this keyboard and I move it over here, basically. And then I have this over here. After I left this here, what I would do is I would just take the dock off, right? Because normally when I'm studying, I'm using the iPad as a notebook. So let me just bring up the Notes app of some sort. Bring up the Notes app. Bring the Apple Pencil. Put that right there. So my notebook screen with probably a PowerPoint on it or something, right? Keyboard is back there out of the way. And depending on how I feel, I could remove these things too, which is why I have a clipboard here. You might be wondering, why do I have a clipboard like here just chilling out, you know? That's because I can easily grab the handle and hopefully not drop this. And I can like remove it whenever I want, put it on the bed. No distractions. I could even just have this book. I like having this book here because I don't like leaving my iPad to touch the actual table and scratch or something, so I like to put it on top. And yeah, I would sometimes just take my phone because I like being distracted, and I put it here so that I can, upside down. Alright, so this is probably the setup for studying. I don't move the mic because, well, it's a hassle to set up, so I just leave it there. Yes, so this would probably be the main study mode. You can say study, you know, study. And then if I need to go back to the creative mode, I can just do that as well. You know, take it back and put it all back together. Alright guys, I hope showing you this gave you an insight or maybe inspired you to know that you don't need all the best gear in the world, but if you have at least the fundamentals, you can get by in whatever you aspire to do. Don't forget to give this video a like if you like it, and subscribe to the channel. It really helps out. And dogs. Thanks for watching this video, guys. I am going to go eat lunch now, so see you later.